Okay. So Hare Krishna everyone. We'll start with the today's class. I'll share the PPT. Yes. Can you see the screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. Okay. So yes, let us start with today's class. Before that, we'll do the prayers. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna everyone.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, so can anybody guess what will be there in this chapter? Like we see the chapter's title is Daivasura Sampad Vibhagayu. What do you understand from the title? Daivasura Sampad Vibhagayu. Yes, this one.
Prabhuji sounds like it's related to some, Vivah.
No, it's actually, see, Dev. See, Dev means Dev. So anything that is related, that is divine or that is godly, is called Dev. And Dev Asura. Asura means demon. So therefore, demonic. And Sampad. Sampad means, you can say, Sampad means opulence, or you can say the wealth. Let's say there is divine wealth and demonic wealth, meaning, see, not that real money wealth which we talk about, but this is about that the good qualities that we have, that is called divine wealth, and the bad qualities or the bad natures which we have is called the demonic wealth. And then vibhag means differentiation. So we'll differentiate between the divine and the demonic natures and yoga. So therefore, this chapter we'll be dealing about the divine and the demonic natures. We'll be learning what is right and what is wrong. Yes. So before starting with the chapter, let us have a quick recap of the previous chapters. This is this Bhagavad Gita is written by Srila Prabhupada, the Bhagavad Gita as it is, and it is coming through the disciplic succession, which is called our sampradaya is called Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Yes. Okay. Let's have a quick recap. So see, in 13th chapter we dealt with the Jivatma and Paramatma. That is, see, field, knower, and knower of all the fields. So Jivatma is the spirit soul. That is the knower of only one field. That is your body. Your field is the body, and the knower of the field or the owner of that field is the soul. And the knower of all the fields is the Paramatma, which is the super soul. Then we saw that the real problems are all related to body, that is birth, old age, disease, and yama. Yama basically means death. So therefore, that's what real problems occur in the body, which are birth, the birth of the body. It's very painful, how even mothers have to feel so much pain, and even the child feels terrible pain while there is birth. When there is childbirth. Then old age, this is the time when we get white hair, and we become more prone to weakness and diseases and all. Then disease itself, sometimes people get so disturbed with diseases that they are not able to even lift up their body. So disease also is again a material problem. Then there is death. Ultimately, even death is also painful. It is said that that pain of death is equivalent to as if, like, there are 20,000 scorpions biting you at the same time. That is how painful death is. That it's equivalent to the pain of 20,000 scorpions biting you at the same time. So, therefore, these are all bodily pains which we suffer, and to come out of this pain, these problems, we have to come out of this material body. So, therefore, uh, here I am referring means we have to come out of this material existence and quickly go back to Godhead, so that we no more have to suffer with this material body. In the spiritual world, we'll get spiritual body which will be Satchidananda, and there we can enjoy with Lord Krishna. Then in 14th chapter we saw there are three modes of material nature: Sattva gun, Rajogun, Tamogun. That is mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. We also differentiated between them. That mode of goodness is best among the three modes. Then we have mode of passion, which is filled with anxiety, and desperation, desires for sense gratification. And mode of ignorance is like you are in complete darkness. You are very lazy. You have no, you are very lazy. You don't want to do anything, and that is what is the mode of ignorance, tamogun. Then in 15th chapter we see that there is differentiation between the spiritual world and the material world. We saw that the material world is actually the perverted reflection of the banyan tree. So see, the original banyan tree is the spiritual world, but the perverted reflection of that same banyan tree on the pond or the water surface is the material world. So basically, whatever is highest in spiritual world is considered lowest in the material world. So see, we see the existence. Okay, in spiritual world, the people are eternally living. It is permanent. While here it is real, but it is temporary. Now see, there are some Mayavadis who say that this material world is also an illusion. It's temporary and it's also an illusory world. Illusion filled with illusion. But it's actually not real illusion. It is real. It is real. So therefore, this material is real, but it is temporary. Now see, talking about love, love between Lord Krishna and the gopis and the devotees and all, that is pure love, the true love. Because see, basically, what is love? Love means something that would not end. But if we see in our case, whatever bodily relations we have, that all will come to an end with death. Okay, but pure love doesn't come to end, so therefore it is everlasting. So therefore in the spiritual world, the love of the God and his devotees is true love. But here at the same time, if we see, people are not showing love, they are instead showing lust. They are actually wanting to enjoy someone else. So therefore, if we see, the love is also not true love in this material world. Then happiness in spiritual world, it's everlasting and true, while here it is temporary and short-lived. Okay, and that too, it comes with a price. Every happiness in material world comes with a price. Then the relationships, we see, spiritual world, there are true relationships which are permanent, while here in material world we have temporary relationships, though they are not false, they are not illusion, but they are a temporary relationship. It goes away all with your body. Then sadness, there is no place for sadness in spiritual world, while in material world it's only sadness. That's what dukkhalayam ashashvatam. In the news, if we see, every day there would be at least one. That there is not even a single day in the news that where there is no, where they don't show any unfortunate incident that has occurring. So therefore, if you see, this world is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. That like, see how we say the we say the house of books as pustakalay. So therefore, house of miseries is dukkhalay. So therefore, this is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Shashvatam means eternal, but ashashvatam means that which is not eternal. Therefore, this material world is filled with miseries. It's a house of dukkhalayam and it is ashashvatam. That is, it is temporary. And there are 4 real problems which are absent in spiritual world, but they are present in the material world. So this is what we saw in 15th chapter. Also, we see that we talked about the relation of the Lord and the living entities. Now, see, just like I gave you example last time, that one drop of ocean and the entire ocean. The difference is only in the quantity, not in the quality, because that single drop of water has all the qualities that is present inside the water of the entire ocean. If that drop of water is salty, then if that drop of water is salty, the entire ocean is also salty. So if the ocean is salty, that drop will also be salty. If that drop has minerals, the ocean also has minerals. So therefore, just like that, we are the parts and parcels of Supreme Lord. So we are qualitatively same. Means, see, we are also Satchidananda, Lord is also Satchidananda. But Lord is Vibhu Atma and we are Anu Atma. That is, we are infinitely small and Lord is infinitely big. Okay. So that is how the difference is, like just like a drop of ocean and the entire ocean. Okay. Since we are done with the recap, now we'll start with the 16th chapter. Now we'll be dealing with divine and demonic qualities. What do they lead to, and what is the result if we follow the scriptures and give up demonic tendencies? And we'll also see, let's say, if we don't follow the scriptures, then also what are the consequences? Okay, talking about divine and demonic, in various yugas, the divine and demonic existed in various things. Like, see, in Satya Yuga, the divine that is the devatas, and demonic that are the asuras, they all existed in different planetary systems. Like the upper planetary systems, which are the heavenly bodies, heavenly planets, they all were for the devatas, and the asuras were living in the lower planetary systems, which is like Atal, Vital, Sutal, Patal, and all those lower hellish planets. That is where the demonic people were living. So that is the difference in Satyuga. The good and the evil were living in different planetary systems, basically different galaxies. So see, then we see Treta Yuga. The slowly demonic quality started increasing. We see good and evil were in different countries. When Lord Rama took incarnation, that time what happened is that, right, the Ravana and all his demonic people were there in Lanka, which is the current Sri Lanka. And now and the divine people that were the Ayodhya Vasis and all the neighboring kingdoms of Ayodhya, they all were good. So therefore, if you see, the good and the evil were in different countries. So in one side there is only good, and in one side there is only bad. Now in the Dwapar Yoga, so see, good, before good and evil existed in the same universe. Then Treta Yuga, the good and evil existed in the same planet. Now we see Dwapar Yuga, the good and evil existed in the same family. That is, you see, the Kauravas, which were the son of Dhritarashtra, and the brother of Dhritarashtra, that is Pandu, his sons were Pandavas. So if we see, the good side was the Pandavas and the evil side was the Kauravas. So they existed in the same family. They were cousins actually. They are not exactly. They were. You can say they are in same family. They are in the same lineage. You can say. So therefore, even actually Pandavas should be called Kauravas. Okay, but that was the monopoly, or you can say diplomacy of the Kauravas, that they called themselves as Kauravas, but not the Pandavas as Kauravas. Because see, Kauravas is actually a term for the descendants of Kuru, and if we see, both were in the lineage of the Kuru dynasty. So therefore, both of them should be called Kauravas. But if you distinguish between the sons as sons, then we say that is Pandavas, and the Kauravas should be actually called Dhartarashtra. That is the son of Dhritarashtra. But they called themselves Kauravas, but Pandavas were Pandavas. They were not Kauravas. By the way, both are Kauravas, while both should be called Kauravas. So therefore, if we see, good and evil existed in the same family. Then we see Kali Yuga, where good and evil exist in the same person. You see, one time a person is good, and the other time that same person does something wrong, and it shows, cruelty. So therefore, nowadays it's very difficult to judge people whether they are good or whether they are bad, because we see good and evil both exist in the same person. So this is how the divine and demonic were distinguished in various yugas. Now this is the Devic or transcendental qualities, or the divine nature. Now these are, in this they have mentioned fearlessness. See, if you have divine nature means anybody who believes in God he can be called divine. Okay, or he's automatically divine. Okay, so he's divine. A person who performs bhakti yoga, he's in divine nature. Therefore, see, when he already has the support of the Supreme Lord, why should he fear? He should be fearless. But if we see the demons, if we see, especially we see Kamsa. Okay, now see, why did he start killing the brothers of Krishna, the previous sons of Devaki and Vasudev? Why did he kill? Because he had the fear that one of the child would be the one who would come and kill me, and it was Krishna. So therefore, see, he was fear. Because of his fear, he performed adharma. Then we see cultivation of spiritual knowledge. The divine people cultivate spiritual knowledge. Then charity. You do charity so that charity is also quality of the divine people. Now, charity could not only be of money, okay, not only monetary charity. Charity could be of food also. Charity could be of knowledge also. Therefore, you can do charity in many ways. Then steady determination. They are very determined. It is said in Nectar of Instruction, that is Upeda Shamrit, which is written by Rup Goswami, that a devotee should be Utsahan Nishchaya Dharya. That a devotee should have Utsaha, that is enthusiasm. The enthusiasm to welcome the Supreme Lord. The Nishchaya, that is determination, strong determination. And Dharya, that is patience. So Utsahan, Nishchaya, Dharya. So these three qualities should be in a devotee. And also there are actually 6 elements. Tat karma pravartana, that he should follow do his activities according to the scriptures. Sangatyaga satovritte, that sangatyaga means he should give up bad association or material association of the world. And satovritte, that he should follow the footsteps of the acharyas. That is, he should follow the instructions. Like we are trying to follow the instructions of Srila Prabhupada. So that is the quality of a devotee. So these are the 6 qualities mentioned in Upadeshamrit by Rupa Goswami. So among one of them is steady determination. Then self-control, self-control. That suppose, let's say, someone is trying to disturb you or something. You, even though sometimes you might get angry, but let's say it's a small child, okay. So you should have the self-control that you don't hit that small child, because if you hit that small child, then that small child might get hurt, and at the end you will only you will only be considered faulty. So therefore, self-control is also uh, a sign of a devotee, that even during extreme situation, a devotee is very a very calm and peaceful. If we see let's say, let's take the example of Ramayana. Lord Rama, see, the next day he was going to be declared as the king, but on that the day before only, Kaikai asked for this request, that Bharata, I mean King Bharat should be the king, Bharat Maharaj should be king, and Lord Rama should be sent for exile or vanvas for 14 years. Now, if we see, Dashrath, his father had to do it out of promise. So therefore, but when see, if it would be anybody else, like other than Lord Rama in this situation, they would be like, oh, what? See, you are going to declare me as the king, and now you are saying that I should see. First of all, you are saying I should not be the king. Okay, that much is fine. But you are telling me to go for exile, 14, that too 14 years. So that is like, uh, that is how ordinary people would react. But you see, how did Lord Rama react? Okay, as you wish, and he became even ready to go for exile. And in fact, he considered it as a good opportunity, so that he could meet all the saintly people. Of course, he's Lord himself. He doesn't even need to get the association of saintly people. Instead, he should bless those saintly people. But still, that is how he's showing, setting us the example. Then performance of sacrifice, that is austerity, simplicity. This is the uh, this is the this is one of the main points stressed by Srila Prabhupada, that simple living, high thinking. Our living might be simple, but whenever we are thinking about, when we are deciding of the Lord, we should always think big, okay? Therefore, if we see the largest temple or the largest structure is going to be built in Mayapur soon. That is the temple of Vedic Planetarium. It is going to be one of the biggest, temples, and you see, I have shown you Goloka chart many times, right? That entire structure of Goloka chart will be shown visually. They have made it in the you go the upper section of the temple, you'll be able to see those, you'll be able to see the model of how they have constructed the universe through the Goloka chart.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I wanted to ask you that, just like you said, for all four the yugas, right? The demonic and right? So,
Yes.
what about the Ghor Kali Yuga? You didn't tell about the Ghor Kali Yuga.
See, Kali Yuga, I mentioned, right, that that good and evil will be in the same person. But I guess, I'm not sure, maybe in Ghor Kali Yuga, it might be that there might be only very few people will be having good, but in Ghor Kali Yuga, like majority of the people will be evil.
Okay. And
Okay.
Prabhuji, I
Yes.
had one more doubt. On one side, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna that you should be fighting for your rights. And on the other side, Lord Rama, he goes to exile. He did not even like say something, and he just readied everything, and he just went. So I don't understand what should we do.
So see, actually, Lord Rama did is that he went for exile for 14 years. Actually, it's very nice now. So he went on the instruction of his father. But what Kauravas were trying to do is that the property or the land or the kingdom which was rightfully the Pandavas, actually it should be the Pandavas, but since their father Pandu died, Dhritarashtra wanted to illegally or by using like not right methods to control the kingdom. And see, they even requested for, like, they said that at least because they are Kshatriyas, they have to rule something. So at the end, Lord Krishna even went to the extent that you just give us 5 villages. If you give us those just 5 villages, no, then also we would manage with the fine Pandavas. But still they didn't agree. So then in that case, they had to fight the war uh, because they were trying to take the kingdom which was rightfully theirs. So therefore, these examples have different context. That's why the actions are different. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yes. Now, next is non-violence. So, just now, as you mentioned the point, Arjuna is telling Krishna in the entire Bhagavad Gita is telling him to fight, and here they have mentioned non-violence. Now, how is this? Why is Krishna saying non-violence? Here is encouraging Arjuna to do violence, and here is saying non-violence. Anybody would like to try? Why is How do we understand this?
Prabhuji, maybe it's because the Pandavas are Kshatriyas, so they have to rule. So that's why he's encouraging them to fight.
Okay. Aparajit Mataji you can unmute. Yes.
I agree with Renit Prabhuji. I mean, since it's their current duty to fight, he also said ki everyone should follow their own karma and do their own duty. So in real life, he's asking us to be, means he does not want unnecessary violence, but which is required for the duty, they have to do it.
Yes. Manasri Mataji, what would you like to say?
Yes, Prabhuji. There's a shloka actually. There's a shloka also. This one shloka.
Yes.
That ahimsa paramo dharma, dharma himsa tathaiva cha. That our non-violence is the greatest dharma. But when it comes to when the dharma is going down, we should do violence. Here, the Kauravas were on the adharma side. And to destroy adharma, they had to do violence, the Pandavas. That's why, Prabhuji.
Yes. So that is why you see, now see, and also, okay, now you all are correct, but we can see, we'll try to understand this from, now see, you all gave your perspective. Now let us try to understand this from another perspective, okay? Now see, again, if we see, okay, now what is violence? Now in terms of spiritual, violence is something that you are trying to stop someone's spiritual progress, okay? Okay, but let's understand. Let's see, all the people who are there in the war, okay, they and Krishna has explained that we are not the body, we are the spirit soul. So therefore he's just killing the bodies. He's not doing any harm to the soul. So therefore, now see, again, here you should not consider this as a wrong method, that see, I can kill anybody just because they are the soul and they are not the body. Now see, try to understand this very carefully, okay? So see, here violence actually means that you are stopping someone's spiritual progress. But here you see Arjuna, when he's killing when he's killing these people, he's actually on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, whoever would die, they would attain the heavenly planets. So actually and also he's being they are being killed by a devotee. So therefore also he's not he's not making he's not intervening in anybody's spiritual progress. So therefore that is why this is actually not called violence, and also he's doing it on the instruction of the Supreme Lord. So therefore we have studied in the 4th chapter, right? Karma, vikarma, akarma. So therefore anything you do on the instructions of the Supreme Lord, that is akarma. So basically that is inaction. Inaction means that it's a spiritual activity where you actually do the action, but you don't receive the reactions, the karmic reactions, because you are doing it for a spiritual cause or a higher cause. So therefore actually even though he's killing, but it is not considered killing because he is doing it on the instruction of the Supreme Lord. And also he is not intervening in anybody's spiritual progress. In fact, he is by killing the bodies, he's freeing them from the sin of from their sins. So therefore therefore it is not, in terms of spiritual perspective, it is not even called violence.
Prabhuji,
Understood?
Yes, Prabhuji, just one doubt raised that will it go in the good karma or it will not change his karmas?
See, it won't affect his karmas at all, but it might come in the spirit, it might come as spiritual asset, which will be permanent because he's doing it on the instruction of the Supreme Lord. So therefore it's neither punya, neither pap, but it is spiritual asset. Right? See, suppose, let's say, in some banks, if you have seen, you use this credit card, okay? When you use the credit card, see, you are giving the money, okay? But along with that money, they sometimes give you that extra credit, like credit points or something, okay? And later on, you can use that points and convert it into money or something. That's like how they do in banks. But here, see, here neither it's punya, neither it's pap. It's in spiritual asset. And the more spiritual asset, the more spiritual credit he gets, that will all add up on, that will all add up on his spiritual, progress or his devotional service. So therefore, neither it will affect his good or neither it will be pap. So therefore, it is not considered a sin, neither it is considered a good activity. I mean, good activity in the sense that it is not considered as something that would give you positive results, but it is considered as a spiritual activity. Okay, understand?
Prabhuji, understood.
Okay, freedom from envy, that is, devotee is not envious of anybody. Then austerity, that is performance of sacrifice, and austerity is the same thing. Then truthfulness, that is, a devotee always speaks the truth. Now see, the truth also should be pleasing to others. In 17th chapter, we'll learn about the austerity of speech, body and mind. That time I'll explain you this very nicely, okay? For now, understand that the truth should, everything that you speak should be pleasing to others, okay? So speak the truth that is pleasing to others, not that which is not pleasing to them. Now, compassion for all living entities. We saw in the first chapter itself that Arjuna, the reasons why didn't he want to fight? The first reason was compassion and cleanliness. A divine person is always cleanliness through his mind, body, and soul. Through body, we show cleanliness by bathing every day and doing the basic activities. By through the mind, we learn about the shastras and all those things. That will purify our mind. Even chanting Hare Krishna will purify our mind. because it's a Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Mantra means Manatrayate iti mantra. The one which delivers the mind is called a mantra. So therefore, the mantra also can purify the mind, and the soul is getting purified also by spiritual activities. Then demonic qualities, which are no belief or faith in God, that is atheism. Then no belief in the existence of soul, because they do not believe in the Shastras. They have full of pride, arrogance. Then because of their pride and arrogance, if someone says anything, they'll get anger, harshness, ignorance. They don't know what is right and what is wrong. They have this desire to be famous, demanding respect from others, and they do not follow or believe in Shastras. So what is your intention, divine or demonic? Now see, divine is that, see, you are helping a person. Let's say there is a person blind, okay, and you are helping him through by providing him basic needs and all. And demonic is all these, all these people nonsense they do, right? They throw bombs, and they cause lot and lots of destructions and all these comes in demonic activities. And see, the three modes of material, which are sattva, rajas, tamas. Now this right, that story, right, that one rotten apple can make all other apples rot. So therefore, how should you try to protect your qualities? See, if you don't want to rot, what is the first thing you have to do? Okay, let's say there is an apple. Okay, you don't want that apple to rot. So what you will have to do? Tell me.
Put some medicine or injection like that, I think.
What? Injection?
Injection or medicine, like
Artificial.
yes, some
color.
artificial thing.
But other than that, we can store it in a refrigerator or something like this.
Yes, you have to store it in a refrigerator, and also keep it away from rotten things. Otherwise, you can see that the bacteria can spread. Okay, so just like that, see, rotten apples means bad association. So first of all, you have to protect the apple from bad apples, that are the rotten apples. So similarly, you have to protect yourself from bad association. And then at the same time, see, you have to store it in right temperature, proper temperature in refrigerator, as one of them said. So that means you have to remain in good association. That especially the association of devotees is the best. So therefore, if you try to remain in association of pure devotees, then you will be able to you will be able to protect your divine qualities. Now see, arrogance, pride, anger, conceit, harshness, all these are demonic natures. Okay, would like to read this translation?
Prabhuji, can I?
I'll just give chance to someone else. Rihanna Mataji.
Yes, the transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demonic qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, for you are born with the divine qualities.
So basically, the divine qualities will help you for revelation, while demonic qualities will cause more and more bondage in this material world, making you farther from liberation. Now, how to develop divine qualities and defeat the demon in us? Choose your friends or associates wisely. And also purification process through devotional service. Like you see, chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. I told you, Manatrayate iti mantra. By mantra meditation, by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, we can deliver our mind. Then hearing Shastras, you can, hear to lectures. Like today morning only we had, a special Srimad Bhagavatam class by Atul Krishna Prabhuji. And he was describing about Chaitanya Charitamrita. So you can, try to attend classes and all. Then honoring prasadam, by honoring prasadam, we can, basically by doing all these, I have explained you about the 9 types of devotional service, right, before. That is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. Shravanam is hearing, Kirtanam is chanting, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam. Smaranam is remembering, Pada Sevanam is serving the lotus feet of Lord. Archanam is deity worship. Archanam, Vandanam, that is offering obeisances and prayers. Dasyam is becoming a servant of the Supreme Lord. Sakhyam is being a friend. And Atma Nivedam means complete surrender unto the Supreme Lord. So through these devotional services, you can purify yourself and stay away from the demonic qualities. Now, who would like to read this?
Prabhuji, can I?
Yes, now.
The best sacrifice recommended in this age is called Sankirtan Yagna, the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is the best and most inexpensive sacrifice. Everyone can adopt it and derive benefit.
So by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you can attain very nice benefit. Now, when to start devotional service? Okay. Often, many people ask, like, when to start devotional service, Many people say, oh, devotional service just start, when you are old. But see, people, let's say your entire life, you did, let's take an example of a bad person. Okay, entire life he did drugs, he did smoking, he drank alcohol, he went to, and he did all nonsense in his life. Okay, now do you think at the end of his life he'll suddenly change and become pure, and he'll start performing devotional service? Can is it possible?
No, Prabhuji.
Because
We should start it in childhood only.
yes. So, because see, because by now it became his habit, okay, that he's doing drugs, doing alcohol, smoking, and all. So now he can't leave those habits, okay, and it became very, very, very intense habits. So now it is very difficult to leave. Though by practice of Bhakti Yoga, it is still possible, because you see the example of hippies, that Srila Prabhupada hippies, they were, you can say, fully demonic, fully in ignorance. They are pure example of ignorance. That see, they didn't bath for days. They used to simply sleep in the streets. They used to, take various kind of drugs. That time, LSD and all these drugs were very, popular. And also, they used to smoke, and they used to, basically stay. They used to stay in, very unclean clothes for days, for weeks and all. And even the US government couldn't do anything, they're like completely in ignorance. But you see the effect of Srila Prabhupada, that he not only converted them into devotees, but those people who are taking non-veg, who are doing all kind of drugs, smoking and all, those people, he made them even leave, stop even thinking about non-vegetarian. He even made them leave onion and garlic, and they became pure devotees who do not take. They used to take drugs, and now they don't even take tea, coffee, nor onion and garlic. See the change that Srila Prabhupada brought in their lives. So therefore, it is still possible, but it would be very difficult, and could be only in presence of a very powerful devotee like Srila Prabhupada. And if we also perform our devotional service very nicely, then only it can be possible. Therefore, it is very important that we start our devotional service in the childhood. We see Srila Shukdev Goswami, actually, he didn't want to come out of this, come out in the material world. Okay. So, he stayed in mother's womb for 16 years. He was like, no, I don't want to, learn, come out of this material world. But when Lord Krishna requested him so much, that time only he came out, and he came out as, a very young person, 16-year-old. And then we see Prahlad Maharaj. He started devotional service in his mother's womb with the help of his spiritual master, Naradji. You see, he
Yes, Prabhuji.
only made him start devotional service. And also we see Dhruv Maharaj also started devotional service at 5 years of age. So all these are great examples of, and now we see even our Srila Prabhupada, who started devotional service at a very young age. By the mercy of Lord, he was born in a family of devotees, and he even performed Yathrata at the age of 5. So that was his pure devotion towards the Lord. Since the very beginning, he had pure devotion towards the Supreme Lord. Now, what are the 6 qualifications we are proud of? Wealth, education, beauty, austerity, youth, good family. All these are various qualifications which we are proud of. But if we see, Krishna has all these qualities in its fullest extent. He has wealth. His wife is only the goddess of fortune. So therefore, there is nothing to say about it. Knowledge, basically education means knowledge. Lord Krishna has, of course, he is the Supreme Lord. He has extreme knowledge. Beauty is very extremely beautiful. Austerity, he can perform austerities and all. Then we see his youth. In his youth, he used to look the most beautiful. And talking about his family, everybody is actually part of his family only. But when he incarnated, his family alone was 1 billion. Now, many people say that, India's population is growing, 1 billion, and now, recently it even overtook China in population and became the most populated country in the world. So people are saying, so much population increasing, 1 billion. But if we see in case of Lord Krishna's family, his family alone, entire family alone was 1 billion. So you just imagine. That too, they were residing in Dwarka, okay. And here we are like, entire India cannot fit, 1 billion people. While in Dwarka itself, there was 1 billion people, okay. That was his family only. Now others, his people of his subjects and all, they were all different, okay. So therefore, population would actually not be a problem. I'll explain about population a little bit later. Let us just complete this chapter and I'll explain you a very interesting thing. Okay. Trividam narakasyedam dwaram nashanam atmana kamakrodhastatha lobhastasmadetattrayam tejet. There are 3 gates to hell. That is lust, anger, and greed. These are the 3, there are tickets, right? Let's say you are going to some amusement park or something, you have tickets for it, right? So for even going to hell also you have tickets. You can either go through lust, you can either go to anger, you can either go to greed. You have options, they give you options. Any option would be fine. But since we don't want to go to hell, therefore we should always avoid these type of tickets. These type of tickets are very harmful. Okay, so you should not come under lust, anger, and greed. And all these are demonic qualities. If we see, the Kauravas had all. They had lust towards Draupadi, anger towards Pandavas, and greed to attain the kingdom. Now, who would like to read this? Hare Krishna. Yes. Yes, Vishwas Prabhu, you can read.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes,
One
read.
son of part in this world, three are two kind of created begins. One is called the divine, and the other demonic. I have already explained to you at length the divine qualities. Now hear from me two of the demonic.
Divine and demonic. Okay. Now, so this is just self-explanatory. You can read. Anybody else would like to read this? Aparijit Mataji had raised your hand before. Would you like to read?
Okay. Hare Krishna. The demonic person who has no faith in God or the super soul within himself performs all kinds of sinful activities simply for sense gratification. He does not know that there is a witness sitting within his heart.
Yes. So, a demonic person, he doesn't know there is any, he doesn't have any faith in God, and he performs all kind of sinful activities. And he does not know there is a witness. Now, who is that witness? The super soul, or which, as Paramatma, who is residing in our heart, he is witnessing all these things. So, people, like nowadays, there is a system that, CCTV cameras and all. Even, sometimes in some schools, in some classes, like they even, if there are so many complaints and, of bad activities, they do CCTV, they put cameras, okay, for understanding the things. But let's say, even if you perform, bad activities, many people don't realize that there is a CCTV camera which is already there in their heart. Every time God is watching you. Okay. So don't think that if you do some kind of activities, you won't be noticed. Let's say, even if other people don't notice and they don't give you any kind of punishment, there is one person who will surely give you punishment. There is a CCTV camera which is already inserted inside your, heart. So that therefore God will give you punishment for all the sinful activities you do. So therefore, don't think that you are not getting noticed. Okay. Yes. They believe to gratify the senses until the end of their life is the prime necessity of human self-realization. Thus, there is no end to their anxiety. Being bound by hundreds and thousands of desires, by lust and anger, they secure money by illegal means for sense gratification. For them, they say the main goal of their life is sense gratification. But our goal of life is going back to God. But they think it's only sense gratification, and they have thousands and thousands of desires, and due to their lust and anger, they even try to acquire money through illegal means, like by bank robberies and all those things, you see, by stealing money and all. So therefore, these are the nature of the demonic qualities. Yes, who would like to read this?
Prabhuji, can I?
Yes.
The demonic person thinks, he is my enemy and I have killed him, and my other enemies will also be killed. I am the Lord of everything. I am the enjoyer. I am perfect, powerful, and happy.
Yes. So therefore, if we see, uh, uh, if you see in divine qualities, there was freedom from envy. But in demonic qualities, they have this enmity, Oh no, he's my enemy. He did this to me. How can I, I should also react, no? How can he do this to me, And he thinks that this is my enemy, this is my friend. Actually, any person who is demonic, they have more enemies than friends, okay? So he is my enemy. I have killed him. My other enemies are also killed. So therefore, now since all my enemies are destroyed, therefore I am the Lord of everything. He gets this pride that he is Lord of everything, but he doesn't know that the actual Supreme Lord is residing in his heart, and he thinks that I am perfect, powerful, and happy. Though there would be thousands of imperfections inside him, still he'll feel that I am perfect and powerful. And all others are, obeying his orders. But others might be even cursing them in the back of the mind. So therefore, if you see, that is how the nature of demonic people are. So now basically there are I have explained you the basic idea. Now it's just translation explanation that which is mostly self-explanatory. Yes, Ananya Mataji would like to read.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thus, perplexed by various anxieties and bound by a network of illusions, they become too strongly attached to sense enjoyment and fall down into hell. Hare
Yes.
Krishna.
So because of their attachment, they fall down into hell. You in second chapter also we saw the cycle of falling down, right? That first you have to do sense objects, then you slowly get attachment, then you have because of that lust develops and you get intense desire, and because of that you get since the desire is not fulfilled, you get anger, okay? And then when anger comes, you come into illusion. Once illusion comes, you're completely confused, then slowly bewilderment of memory, then there is a damage of even you lose your intellect at some times, and then you finally fall down in the sense that you are not able to control your anger, and you fall down, you get more and more attached. So such type of people, only they fall down into the hell, and because of their network of illusion they fall down into hell. Okay, anybody would like to read this?
Yes, Prabhuji, can I?
Yes.
Self-complacent and always impudent, deluded by wealth and false prestige. They sometimes proudly perform sacrifices in name, only without following any rules or regulations.
Okay, so they are always deluded with wealth and false prestige, and they perform sacrifice only for name, they're like, just to get some fame and all, they'll be like, perform sacrifices, and sometimes, there will be pandits also who would be supporting this, like, Arey yaar, I don't have so much time, okay, do this swaha fast, bro, and then, do this fast, faster, and he will give some money, and then the person also who is corrupted performing the sacrifice, he'll also will also increase the speed, he'll be like swaha, swaha, and he'll start do. So basically they just do this, to get fame and just for namesake. So and they don't follow any proper rules and regulations. They don't have any interest in performing the sacrifice. They just do it for namesake to get fame. Yes. Anybody else now would like to read this translation? Yes, Vishwas Prabhu.
Believe that
by false ego, strength, pride, lust, and anger. The demon becomes envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is seated in his own body and in the bodies of others, and blasphemes against the real religion.
Yes. So, due to false ego and pride, they become envious of the Supreme Lord. Like, you see, you take the example of Hiranyakashipu only. He was very envious by he was very envious by the name Lord Vishnu only. He used to become very envious. Therefore, and he blasphemed. Then he started blaspheming against the real religion. So these are all the qualities of demonic nature. So be critical in who you choose, okay, or who you associate, because you might get positive influence also, and you might get negative influence. Yes, but he would discard scriptural instructions, injunctions, and acts according to his own whims, attains neither perfection nor happiness nor the supreme destination. So therefore, if you act in according to your own, if you act according to your own way, then you will without following the scripture or without following the proper rules and regulations. See, that's like we have in a school, okay? You don't follow the rules and regulations, there are chances that you might get suspended also. So similarly, here also is like, if you don't follow the rules and regulations of the scriptures and act according to your own way, whichever you like, nowadays this trend has so much, this trend is too much widespread, that my wish, my way. That is not how it works. Okay. Okay, so therefore we should always you might act in according to your own creative way, but always try to follow the rules and regulations of the scriptures. Otherwise, you will not attain anything. You neither attain perfection nor happiness nor the supreme destination. Yes. All the rules and regulations of the Vedas are meant for knowing Krishna. So ultimately, see, yes, last class also 15th chapter we discussed Veda. Vedaischa sarve rahameva vedyo, that all the Vedas are made by the Supreme Lord, and they are ultimately, the ultimate goal of knowing the Vedas is for understanding the Supreme Lord. Okay. So even if you read the Vedas, but if you even get the knowledge of Vedas, but if you do not, if you do not start performing devotional service, if you do not, start knowing about Lord Krishna, then it is of no use. So ultimate goal of the learning the Vedic knowledge, all these Bhagavad Gita classes, everything is ultimately so that you start performing devotional service, and you start know Krishna, start getting to know Krishna better and better. Okay. Now, who would like to read this?
Prabhu.
Yes. Krishna Prabhu. Hey, Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. The man who has escaped these three gates of hell, lust, anger, and greed, O son of Kunti, performs acts conducive to self-realization and thus gradually attains the supreme destination.
It's actually not conductive, it's conducive. Okay. Conducive means favorable. Okay. So therefore, you should, if you the one who is escaped from these three gates of hell, he will always try to perform things for self-realization and for liberation to the spiritual world. So therefore, by doing such acts conducing to self-realization is the devotional service. So by performing such activities, you will attain the supreme destination, that is the spiritual planets, going back to Godhead. So Krishna is God, he is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is a person and he has a Shama Sundar form, and Krishna is Satchit Ananda, that is, he is eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss, just like the soul which we also have. So with this, we'll conclude with the chapter. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo nama. Anant Kuti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
I'll just send the attendance link. You can fill the attendance form and then we will. Yes.
Prabhuji, can you explain again what is false ego?
False ego means pride,
Okay, Prabhuji.